Okay, so I just wanted to quickly give a rundown of my procedural map generator's progress at the moment. It's done in Unreal Engine 4, and it's a quad tree based approach. So let me play it here. You'll see first thing that I do is actually set up the quad tree. So these green boxes here is a representation of that quad tree, and essentially it just takes your square and subdivides it into 4 squares, and then it just keeps doing that over and over again until it reaches your like designated smallest size. And then from there it will build rooms inside of those smallest sized regions is what I'm calling them here. So it looks like this line here down to here might be the first subdivide, and then cross. Then maybe this next one is this one, and then this to this, and then this to this. So you can see how it subdivides it all there. Then if we get in closer, the blue here will be the rooms that you'll be able to move in. So then once it has the rooms and everything made, it's going to do path finding to create the paths between the rooms. I went ahead and made everything harder on myself by adding like layers. So I actually generate a height map using like a purling noise filter, and then from there I write it into a 64 by 64. I guess this is 32 by 32 texture, and then it uses that to designate the height of each cell. So I'm actually rendering a 32 by 32 map right now. So this is the height of it. So that's why you can see that there's these height differences here. Anyway, so then it uses like I said, an A-star algorithm to build a pathway between each room. It finds the closest room, and then we'll build a path to that. And then it ensures that every room is able to be reached. So basically, like I have like a closed list of rooms. It's like, hey, this room's already connected to. So by the time it gets to the next one, it searches for one that hasn't already been connected to. So for instance, this path here, it must have got to this room and it's like, oh, where's one that hasn't been connected to yet? This path actually doesn't go from this room to this room. It goes from this room all the way to this one in the corner. And at first I was like, I don't know if it should do that, but it actually created an interesting pathway. So this room actually has 4 ways in and out of it, as opposed to just the 2 that it would have normally. So I like that. What else does it do? It has my game is going to be like a Diablo style game, so let me just possess Greystone here. So this is the camera angle I'm going for. So I needed a way to tell the generator which direction is the camera going to be facing, so it could blow out those walls. So that's why this wall is destroyed, is because I told it that I want my camera to be facing this way. So it decided to blow out those walls for me, which is what I want. And you can see every room actually has that. I have it so you have outside rooms and inside rooms. So the outside rooms use the railings, and then you can see the scenery, I guess, is fog and these buttresses there and stuff. Then inside room is just gonna have it's gonna be brick, so it's like like a destroyed wall or something. And then the inside scenery, I haven't quite finished it yet, but the whole lot, like, this is supposed to be inside space, so it doesn't make sense for things to not be there. So essentially what I'll do is add a whole bunch of like other of these pre-made objects and just put them all about in the inside space so that it looks like you're in like a giant labyrinth. Even though you wouldn't be able to reach these, it still look nice that they're there. What else? So the lighting, I just added lights recently. So first I go through the map and I tell it like how dense I want the lights to be, and then it will do that, and it will like assign a light to each cell, so like each square, and then when it actually builds that current cell, it just knows whether or not there needs to be a light on it. Then, you know, for this type of cell, this corner destroyed piece, it has a torch, and it does that. It prioritizes the outside edge, so like there's clearly a light here, and it knows it's outside, so it made it like a blue, and so there's like the outside light coming in, and there's light here, so torch. It's a little noticeable, so like you can notice these squares don't have a light on them, it's a little darker. But I haven't done props yet, so I need to fill these all with props, and I think some of my props will probably have lights, so I think it'll probably work out in the end. These are some of the biggest rooms that I could possibly have. This is actually 2 rooms connected to each other, so it's a large, lightless space in the middle, but I think once I have props and enemies and stuff, it'll probably work out. And then there's just a random chance for your object to be in its crumbled state. So these are randomly crumbled. Some of these tiles here, instead of being like pristine and flat, they're cracked and whatnot. Let me show you some different generations. So I use a seed, so I know exactly what the generator is going to do. I like 25166 a lot, so I usually keep it there, but I can just change the seed, and we'll see what kind of map it makes. Okay, so this is a large room here. Currently there's an issue with, technically this is the edge of the grid, so when I still have to make like out of bounds scenery, even though it extends past my 2D array of the grid, and there's just a bug when I try and do it, so I can figure that out. You can see it's not quite what it should be. So yeah, this created a whole lot of large rooms. Kind of nice. So it's lower, there's this room. Oh, that room just ends right there, doesn't it? Oh, this is one of those edge cases that I have to solve. I know what I'm going to do. Basically, like, this is just really hard to solve, and I'm not an artist, so I didn't make the stairs. What I'm going to do is just have like a ladder tile piece. So when it runs into a situation like this where there should be stairs, but I can't have stairs in a corner, and then this is the end of the path, so it shouldn't be stairs either, because there's no real way to you know, go from here to there. Or you could jump down, but like you can't go from this tile, these stairs up. So I'm gonna make like a ladder piece. So I was like, hey, should I be a ladder, because it's the only thing that makes sense. So that should fix that edge case. But there it is. So there's another big room. I actually already have my critical path made, so I do, once everything's all designated, all the paths and everything. Right now it always sets the starting room to be the one in the bottom left, and then it finds the furthest room from it. So you know, the furthest room could be the one right next to it if it's not connected, right? So let me see if we can find. Oh, this is kind of interesting. That's kind of cool. This is another case where I might need a ladder. Stairs could work, but we'll see. Where's the last room? Okay, so this is the furthest room from it. So it just found it. It used an A* to find all the pathways and figure out which room's the furthest one, like which path is the longest. And it's this one. So cool. Is that one made? What else can we tweak? We can tweak size. How high all these are. These are because like the tile size is how big your assets are. So I used, this was free when I got it on the store, the multi-story dungeon. These are my tiles that I'm building the map out of. Here's like the damaged base. That's just like the base tile, and it's a 600 by 600 by 400, so you need to set those there. then for the quad tree, you can give it like a room minimum size, the maximum size to do you give it your height map that it uses to designate like it grabs like the average height of all of the tiles in the square, and then it will set your height accordingly based off of the average of all of them in there. Yeah, so that's that. What am I gonna do next? So here's what I have here. See, I already have these ones in green. Those are done. I want to extend the editor to make use of like a tile rules. I'll show you what I mean. So like right now, if I go into my blueprint, my terrain here, you'll see this is large. Is a large blueprint, and this one is construct walls, corners, and doors. So this does the walls, the corners, and the doors. This is it. So like it goes through, like grabs my type. I made helper classes like get your neighbors and see where they are. Like, are they to your left and whatnot. And essentially, all of these are just a whole lot of checks like that. Like, hey, are they to the left? Like, am I a corner? If I am a corner, I need to see if one of my walls has to be see-through, and if none of them do, then I can just be a regular corner, and then you just do like, am I to the left and to the top? Like, which kind of corner am I? Change your translations and rotations, and add the instance. So I'm using a bunch of instance static mesh components. Wall corner, and then you spawn a candlestick if you are a corner. So yeah, these are like just the wall, like which is the wall to the left of me. Okay, do this. Am I a door? If I'm a door, then you add a door. If I'm see-through, then you if I'm not a door and oh right, yeah, so if this is a door, true, and then if you aren't see-through, then you make a door. If you are see-through, then it's just open. So yeah, it's a whole lot of that. The construct paths are interesting. Another large blueprint. It's all just the same stuff, like to the left, am I stairs? Do I have to be ascending or descending? Things like that. So I kind of want to like take all of this stuff and make like a tile rules about it. So I'll show you what I mean. I made this this widget here. This doesn't work currently, and I think I might actually do it a different way. But it would basically be like, you select your type. Hold on, I should run it, and that will make things easier. If I run this, you would load like a rule into this, and then you'd be like, all right, so my middle piece is a floor, and if that piece is a path, and that piece is a path, and that piece is a path, and then that's out of bounds, or if you can say like whether they need to match or not. So like this has to be the exact type. So like yeah, these three have to be paths, and it doesn't matter what this is or what that is or what that is. But if all of those are true, then you can also set whether this rule will be true rotated 90 degrees or 180 degrees or 270 degrees. So like if this rule is true, if so let's see, if it's like this is a path and this is a path and this is a path, and then like these are like whatever, oh, and that's not a path. Like if it's also true this way or the other way or the other way, right? So you would check all of those, and then it would just build your tile for you, is the idea. And you can just make these rules using that, and then feed the rules into the generator, and it will do this. So you can avoid having all of this, and hopefully it would make it so that you could have like other types of tiles and other types of scenery, and not have to go through all of this for every single one. So yeah, that's the plan. And I need to do the inside scenery, and I need to make the game on top of it. It's gonna be like a Diablo roguelike type game. What's done? So I guess I should mention real quick what's done in C++. Actually, like doing the A-star algorithm and making the quad tree, that's all done in C++. And you can see I expose a lot of functions and everything to help you grab the tiles, because you can't expose a nested array to blueprints. So like here's the actual tiles and whatnot. So anyways, that's just a quick rundown of my generator, and yeah.